What's up guys, I am back with some more StarCraft 2 action for you tonight. This time we have two very skilled players and I'm really hoping to see a good game from them tonight. We have in the bottom left hand corner of Daybreak, from Team StarTale, we have the Glasses Toss Parting. And in the top right hand corner we have representing Team FXO, the Bruce Leenock, giving away his name. That's right, we have Leenock. As I said, spawning on Daybreak, whilst this is only a 1v1 map, do not be deceived by the rush distance. This map is super long. Going from the ramp of your main, you go down here to your natural, then past this ramp with Destructible Rock on it, then up through here, and then round here, and then down here past the Zelnaga, then up this ramp, and then to the natural, then up into the main base. It is a very long rush distance. This map doesn't speak the truth. It's a lying map, don't believe it. However, we are going to have two of quite possibly some of the youngest yet most hopeful players for the StarCraft 2 scene parting here, who is currently Code S. I do have their stats up, I am prepared for this one this time. So Parting is a Code S player. He was invited to the MLG Spring Arena, where he didn't really shine though. He didn't get through to any of the bracket stages. He did go out in the group stages of the Spring Arena. However, do not write him off. This guy is amazing. He is so good. He is just so solid. And if you ever watch his High Templar play, it is just on form. He's just... I love watching his play sometimes. And so confident in the rush distance. He's going to go Nexus before Forge on this map. Obviously it is going to be a Forge fast expand. With a choke like this, it's so easy to do so, and you are pretty safe to go Nexus first on this. Leenock, however, did used to be a Code S player. He was there for a while, did get knocked back down to Code A. He did actually come second in the Code S finals, just losing to Jack G in a 4-2 series. Did go for a pull before hatch on this. You really kind of want to... Protoss, if they see a 15 hatch, can easily just wall themselves off with pylons in here, throw down a cannon and easily deny this base here, seeing as they do have the Forge tech on the way anyway, so it's no huge hardship for them to do so. So pretty always safe to go pull first. But Leenock, he did win Providence, MLG Providence. He shined so brightly in that tournament. He took out players such as MMA, Idra, Huck, MVP, Oz, DRG, and finally beating Naniwa in the finals. This guy was just so on fire. Nobody expected this. He just came out of nowhere and just took out all of these top players. Not just foreign players, but he took out tons of Korean players as well. And for 16, he is 17 now. He is just so strong. Obviously, he's going to scout the Forge Fast Expand and he's going to take a third relatively quickly. A pretty standard to do against Protoss. You generally want to stay a base ahead. Some people say it's the golden rule. You don't really have to be, but you know the Protoss isn't going to put on any early kind of pressure, so you're pretty safe to take a third. Can get a nice macro game going on. Will he be able to get this program back in? Yes, he does, and he keeps all the Zerglings alive. Nice little pick off for Leenock there. Parting, he is actually playing under the name of Legend. I think this was played on a different server where he doesn't have his Parting account, but trust me, he is Parting. You will see, don't worry. He's going to go for the double gas pretty early on, and just going to be getting out nice few work. He's going to get the +1 research pretty quickly as well. Again, if you have the Forge tech here, don't wait for some kind of timing push to get your +1 weapons. Just get it early on. Especially if you go double gas this early, you can easily afford the +1 weapons on here, as well as getting a Stalker out in time. Overlord positioning pretty good for Leenock. He can easily see any kind of gas timings. He's going to see this gas here, and he does have an Overlord positioned here to go in at around the 7 or 8 minute mark to see what kind of tech Parting is going to be throwing up, whether he's going to be going for some kind of 6, 7 or 8 gateway push or some kind of void ray play. This Overlord will be moving in to spot it all. We do actually see 3 gateways coming up at the back of Parting's base here. Be interested to see how many more gateways he does throw down. Just going to sit on 4 at the moment and going to get out some nice early sentries. You want to get the sentries out as early as you can so they can build up their energy, so you've got a nice amount of force field you can throw down. Leenock in the meantime is just going to be droning up. He knows it's safe. I mean, his map vision is pretty good. It doesn't really have much over the ramp. Usually it's pretty standard for a Zerg player to throw down an Overlord just about here, because there's not a lot the Protoss can do about it until they get their Robotech out or they get Hallucination for their sentries. We're going to see another gateway, so going up to 5 gateways now for parting. See what I mean? This Overlord coming in thinking you can see the tech, but it's all hidden at the back. Great positioning from parting to hide the tech back here. Obviously this is a key area for the Overlord to come in, so didn't really want to just throw the tech out in the middle of the open. And 2 more gateways coming up now, bringing the total to 7 gates. I'm going to see some early pressure here. We're wondering if he actually gets +1 armor as well in time. Might not. Might just push out just with the +1 attack. He's going to be warping in down here on this proxy pylon. Leenock did try to take it out, so he does know about this, and is going to bring out some more units here. However, not going to be overreacting, just going to get just a nice amount of units. But now bringing up 8 roaches, just to deal with any more units that come in. And 5 zealots are going to try and defend these pylons as best they can. Parting not wanting to let any of these pylons fall. Oh, can he catch the sentries? Beautiful force fields, using the bare minimum to save those sentries. Oh, cannot save the Stalker though, but he has trapped them in there, so the sentries will tickle them to death eventually, and the zealots will be able to clean up any other remaining Zerglings. But Leenock knows about this push right now, and he is in a good position to hold it here. Got a nice amount of roaches here. Going to throw up a spine crawl as well for extra defense. And the roaches, will they be able to pick off this pylon in time before the sentries arrive? They do, and the force fields, they're okay. They catch 2 of the roaches here. And losing that pylon actually did supply block parting. But now Leenock has got a nice force to push back parting, and I don't think he really wants to engage in. You might just turn around and head home. But he has actually thrown down 4 pylons. He's going to cancel these 2. He knows he can't push in there, so he's just going to pull back now. Probably will lose to these 2 pylons, but what's this? Oh, we might have a Ling run by going in there. And there is only 1 cannon holding here, so if he can get in, he can run right around and go into the main base here. And he's going to go for it. He's running in now. Does get through. Will he go for the probes on the Natri? He will. He start focus firing them down. Will pick off at least 3, possibly a 4th. No, he's going to run past them. Going to go into the main base now and see how many probes he can pick off here. Warping in zealots into the mineral line to help defend here. Good reactions by parting here to defend this little run by. It's always so annoying to have so many Zerglings running into your mineral line. It's not what you want as a Protoss player. Leenock did pick off a pylon. Does he actually know about this last one? Oh, he doesn't know about this last pylon that's hidden here. If parting can defend any kind of push that comes in, he can easily counter push from this pylon here and walk straight into the 3rd. If Leenock doesn't find that pylon soon, he could be in a world of trouble. All he has to do is move that Overlord a little bit closer. I think he might find it with these Zerglings if he goes up there, but he's not going to go up there. It's going to be so huge if he can keep that pylon alive. Nice position on this Overlord here. Can actually keep an eye on any kind of probe numbers here. Can realise what's going on there. You're not going to move along the top now. See if he can find a 3rd base maybe. If he does, he can easily deny this as long as the army's out of position. But in the meantime, it's going to be getting roach speed coming up now, as well as +1 missile and a macro hatchery. Nice positioning on the hatchery here to help block the ramp. Just stops any kind of units coming in here as quick as possible. It just slows them down a bit. And Leenock looking very comfortable. Going to take his 4th and 5th gases. No, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th and 6th. It's nice to see I can still count. My GCSEs help me. Going to be throwing down the Spire at his 3rd. Unusual place for it. Usually you hide it up in your main base, just where it's nice and safe. But now going to be taking down these rocks here. Obviously, this is the Zerg. If he moves up here right now, the force fields can easily trap either all of the roaches or just cut them in half and take out so many. And that's exactly what he's going to try and do. He does catch a nice amount of them, but they're just going to turn around and start shooting here. He's going to carry on taking out the rocks as these roaches do die, but Leenock might want to think about pulling back here, as there are a lot of stalkers up there who do a lot of damage to those roaches. He's going to go for his +2 weapons now. Now that he's on his 1-1, we'll probably start chrono boosting that as quick as possible. And look at this, 22 Zerglings, 15 roaches coming up for Leenock here, wanting to put on a lot of pressure as he takes his 4th base here. He's also going to go for Tunneling Claws. He doesn't have Burrow research just yet, so we'll want to be starting that relatively soon. However, in the meantime, it's going to start his +2 missile upgrade. Small engagement at the front here, but Leenock can't do any damage here, especially with this Immortal out right now. They just do so much damage to these roaches. So he's going to think about waiting until these reinforcements come out, see if he can get a surround with the nice Zerglings on them, and start to take him down. Obviously, he still doesn't have Burrow yet, so getting the Tunneling Claws, yes, it will be beneficial later on, but he needs to start the Burrow upgrade if he wants to utilise it to its full effect. 7's Mutalisks coming up right now, and as long as he can keep the pressure on, those Mutalisks can do a ton of damage, as long as he can just make him keep thinking, okay, there's roaches, let's build immortals to counter them. But at the same time, he's also forcing a lot of Stalkers, which are obviously pretty damn good against Mutalisks. 9 Mutas, 10 Mutas now coming up actually, with +1 flyer weapons as well. And Parting actually getting supply blocked right now. Isn't using his Chrono Boost to his full potential, but still using enough of it. 4 pylons coming up just to unsupply block him. Have you ever had those moments where you just get supply blocked and you just have to throw down as many pylons or overlords or supply depots as quickly as possible because you just start panicking? I remember once I threw down like 15 overlords. But anyway, we're going to see Leenock trying to push forward here. Can't do too much damage to the Protoss ball like this. He's going to have to get some other units in right now. And it was the Observer sitting right above the Zerg army. He can see everything. Does spot the Mutalist now, so he's going to start preparing for that. Throws down the Templar Archives almost immediately. So going to be getting out those High Templar for the Storms. It's pretty easy to just position a High Templar at each expansion. Can just throw down a Storm after Storm on those Mutalisks and they just die so rapidly. Can he actually Duke Parting here? He's going to come up on the ramp now, and he's in equal terms against Parting right now. Going to go for the engagement. Guardian Shield coming up and Force Field's coming down. Going to push the army away. Leenock obviously does not want to engage an army like that. However, he is nearing max supply, so he is going to have to attack soon. May just wait for the 7 more Mutalisks to come in and then attack straight from there. Instead, he's going to go straight for the Forge and take that out. And is he going to run straight into the main base? He is. Can he get this around? No, the Stalkers blink out of there just in time. But now he has a Protoss army hot on his tails, and he's going to have to get in and do as much damage as he can. It's going to start targeting down the Templar Archives. That is so huge. However, Leenock, Parting, however, does warp in a few High Templar right at the start. The entire army of Leenock is going to get wiped out in this main base here, but he's doing a lot of damage here. But is going to get wiped out by all those Stalkers. In the meantime, the Mutalisks are going to fly around, see what damage they can do. Do get held up by a cannon and a few Stalkers, but will take them out and deny a huge amount of mining on the 3rd base here. And is now going to fly back down to the natural. And when you have Mutalisks in this kind of position, you need the High Templar to come and do the AoE damage to them, because they are just so annoying as they fly around like this. And look, he's just going to fly straight into the main base. Probably could depower a few of the gates and do a lot of economic damage. Whilst at the same time, Leenock already regathers another army in the middle of the map to try and see if he can put on more damage. Going to go into more of a Zergling Muta play right now. Does he actually have a Baneling Nest up? I don't think he does. So is he going to be sticking... Oh yeah, there's his Baneling Nest. So yeah, I'm going to be morphing in a ton of Banelings here to do a lot of damage. So now this primarily Stalker army. Pack of Mutas sat here. I'm waiting for these guys to move back in. But supplies looking in favour of Parting right now. Going to leave a few Stalkers here just to ward off any of those Mutas that come back in. And they are actually going to fly around back into the main base. But there's already a pack of Stalkers here. Will Parting react to them? No, he doesn't. Leenock is just going to fly around. He doesn't really want to get caught out of position with these Mutalisks. They're so expensive. You can't afford to lose Mutas all game through. You have to get them to a nice critical number if you want to do a ton of damage. And I'd class this as a lot of Mutas. That is a huge amount. But just a few Storms and these Mutas are absolutely gone instantly. It's going to try and poke around at the 3rd here. Not going to be able to get through with the army repositioning here. However, he's going to go up the main ramp now into the natural of Parting. He's going to catch a few of the Stalkers out of position, but huge Storms on those Zerglings, all of them dying so quickly. Some people class as a waste of energy, but you know, you're allowed to do it. They're now morphing into Archons to save them from the Banelings. I think Leenock was going to try and use the Banelings to take out those High Templar, but quick reactions from Parting morphs them all into Archons to save them. And the Mutas here are going to do a good amount of damage here. However, they don't want to stay too long, because as soon as there's too many Stalkers, these Mutas will die so quickly. Does pick off a nice amount of sentries, which is always so useful to do. It's just so annoying for the Protoss to try and replenish those sentries, but not only replenish them, but replenish the energy on them. Some of those sentries have been around since the start of the game, and as soon as you start losing them, you lose a lot of energy. Muta's going to come in here, snipe 2 High Templar before they can get any Storms off. Beautiful control from Leenock there to take out those units as quickly as possible. A lot of Roaches streaming across the map right now, as Leenock does take his 5th base as well. Has he moved on to Hive Tech? He has, so I'm interested to see. He is going to go for the Greater Spire, so Broodlords will come into play later on in the game. But for now, he's just going to stick on roaches and mutalisks right now. But again, so many stalkers, they just take down these mutalisks so quickly. 10 more banelings morphing in right now. Gonna be splitting up actually, see if they can do any damage around. A small little force going into the natural while the bulk of the army draws the army to the third. And he is going to send these banelings in right now. War prisms just come out of the blue. Banelings, can they get a hit on the probes? They do take out some of the probes, not as many as he would have liked. Main army going to come in here to try and snipe the third. He may actually be able to take it here, and he's so close. Come on, Leenock. Just right click on it. No, he's going to back out of there, losing a ton of units for nothing really. If he could snipe the Nexus, then it could have been worth it, but instead he just turned around and went just at the wrong moment. The Overlord is still positioned here. How has this not been found yet? Superb positioning. I'm going to have to steal that for when I'm playing. Parting here, feeling pretty confident. Going to try and take his fourth in the centre of the map here. Usually you see players trying to take a fourth up here, just try and keep in a long, nice line across their mini-map. Instead, feeling he can hold the middle position, and you know what? He pretty much well can. He's got so many Stalkers. And we see 3 Queens coming up here. We can see him transitioning into the Broodlord play right now. 7 Broodlords coming up right now. And he's going to have to get some kind of ground army to hold the Stalkers in place. Otherwise, they're just going to blink straight underneath the Broodlords and take them out so quickly. But Parting in a very good position here. Looking at 3-1 upgrades. Leenock looking at 2-0 on his ground units. His Mutalisks are at 0-1. Just going to get +2 melee attacks now for his ground units as well. A nice warp in from the Warp Prism down here. He's going to get cleaned up. Does actually cancel a lot of mining on here. Got a few drone kills as well. But the Warp Prism now is going to get taken out by these Mutalisks, and any kind of harassment from that's going to be cleaned up. Actually going to take his 5th base as well. I do like this. He knows he's got centre map control at the moment. Why not take these expansions? If you can get economic lead against a Zerg, you know you're doing well. But there's a lot of Broodlords right there. Going to take down these destructible rocks now. Getting up 3 Infestors to fungal growth the Stalkers so they can't blink underneath, so the Broodlords can get maximum damage. 4 Queens on full energy to transfuse them as well. And a ton of Banelings morphing in right now. Stargate gaming up to try and counter this play. Storm's going off on the Broodlords, but it doesn't really matter. They don't do too much damage against the Broodlords, and they can push back this Stalker army here. Wily does go for a counter-attack, going straight into the natural of Leenock, gonna snipe a Queen, and can do a ton of damage to these units. Oh, does pick off an Infestor as soon as it pops out. And this forces Leenock to come back with his entire Baneling army. How much more can Parting snipe? Won't be able to get too much, does pick off another Queen, I believe. But good amount of damage done by Parting here. Does even it up a bit. If we look at the units tab, we see 73 drones to 61 probes. So still the economic lead is in favour of Leenock in both mineral and gas terms. But at the same time, Parting is doing everything correctly to try and stay equal with a Zerg who's ahead in tech and in bases. But now we can see Parting pulling back to his 4th base. Oh, can these Broodlings snipe these High Templar? They're so vulnerable right now. Gonna throw down a storm. But he's sniping these High Templars so quickly that they're not really paying for themselves. Does storm the Broodlings, however he can't kill them. Is going to go for a counter-attack with these Stalkers right now. Going to push in. See if he can snipe any of these Infestors and Roaches, and it'll be very important if he can snipe those Infestors. But he's going to get forced back by the arrival of these Broodlords. However, they're actually getting pretty low in health. Going to have to get a nice few transfusers off to bring them back up to full health. And the Stalkers are going to blink away to try and save themselves. A small amount of army here. Zealot gets picked off by the Broodlings. Going to try and take the sentry out, but can't quite reach it. And is now going to siege up on these cannons. Going to take them down before any kind of Roach army pushes in. But the Stalkers are sneaking in from behind. They're going to take out the Roaches and the Infestors and the Queens. Does pick off that last Queen. He's now going to get forced back. We're trying to get underneath the Broodlords, but couldn't quite get there. And is now, this base is in a lot of trouble here. It will go down. There's no way Parting can save that. And he could actually get a ton of probe kills as well. He's going to snipe a few Immortals. That's important if these Roaches want to live, because these will die so quickly to the Immortals. These Broodlords certainly paying for themselves right now, but Parting again is just sneaking in with another pack of Roaches just to see what he can find. He's going to snipe a lot of drones here, and we'll probably get that Infestor as well, and some Roaches. Good counter-attack by Parting right now, but Leenock with a 50 supply lead at the moment is going to start sieging this 3rd base as well. And if he can take this out, this will be huge. So much Chrono Boost energy gone, and there's still a fair amount of mining that can be done here. But Parting at the same time is going to do a lot of damage. We'll finally get cleaned up here. and the base goes down. So many probes are going to die here, because obviously these Broodlords do 2 times the amount of damage. They do the impact damage as the Broodling hits them, and then they do the ground melee damage. The Templar Archives get sniped again. Mothership coming up for parting right now is going to be at the main base, as well as a Void Ray. Does he have any Void Rays? He actually has one, and there are no Corruptors to hold them off at the moment, so this Void Ray is going to go absolutely to town on these Broodlords. Leenock is going to have to get some anti-air up here quickly if he wants to save these Broodlords. In the meantime, they are going to try and take out the Cybernetics Core. But at the same time, our Corruptors arrive just in the nick of time to take out these Void Rays, and it's looking very bad parting right now. Leenock's knocking on his front door. It's going to sneak around again for another counter-attack with these Stalkers. Drones being pulled to try and hold this. It's not going to be enough. Oh, and a beautiful feedback on that Infestor, stopping any kind of fungal growth coming off. And I think Parting might actually be able to turn this around. He is going to take out this base for sure. Nothing Leenock can do can save it, and Supply's actually now in lead of Parting here, with him laying siege to the front base of Parting. Has taken out the Cybercore and the Templar Archives, so Parting can only make Zealots at the moment, but it doesn't matter. Leenock's down to nothing. He's got no minerals left to mine. His bases are being taken out. Parting may have actually just turned this around, and instead of just engaging the Broodlord army, just said, okay then, you can attack my base. I'll just go take out all of yours. He's going to come in here, going to snipe the Greatest Spy. No more Broodlords coming up for Leenock right now, and he is probably going to take out the Baning Nest and the Hatchery as well. I can't see an army trying to take this. We may actually see a base trade here. Does Leenock not actually know about the north base right now? No, he doesn't. He doesn't know about this base up here. And cannons are being thrown down here to try and defend it as much as possible. There is a High Templar to defend it. And there are pylons everywhere that Leenock will have to take out if he wants to win this base race right now. And Leenock, all he has are Infestors and Broodlords, and Corruptors, a Queen, and Drones. He is in full-blown base trade at the moment. And Parting actually going to go for a Dark Shrine right now. I mean, if in doubt, go for a Dark Shrine. It's pretty safe to do so. If he can get that out, I don't think there's actually any detection out for Leenock right now. No, there's not. There are 21 Overlords that can get morphed into Overseers if the Hive can stay alive, which isn't going to be for much longer. It's going to get sniped. Now there's only this Hatchery, which is going to get taken out by the Mothership here. And things are actually looking pretty bad for Leenock right now. He has to take out this base and then get all the way up here and take out this base before this army can take out whatever's left here. There's a few extractors here. Leenock actually taking his opponent's natural extractor here. But the supply at the moment is just so in favour of Parting right now. It's going to take out the entire main base. No tech is surviving for Leenock right now, so no more units are going to be coming out for him. The Dark Shrine will be finishing up very shortly here. Oh, and Leenock knows about the base right about now. He has seen it. He's going to have to do some damage to it very quickly. And Leenock hasn't revealed his base. All of his buildings are now being revealed. He only has 3 extractors left. He has 1 extractor here, 1 here, and 1 here. This entire army has to be able to beat this army and take out this base if Leenock has a chance of winning it. He could decide to just defend it, but instead he's actually going to go straight for the base, and Parting's going to pull back to his base. He has to defend that base. It's so important that he can defend it right now. And the armies, well, Leenock actually does have a lot of fungal growth stored up here. He can do a lot of damage to these Stalkers right here before they can blink underneath the Broodlords. And the Mothership is so far behind, as well as the High Templar. A couple of Archons here can do some splash damage. If he can land a nice Vortex on these Broodlords, it could be all over here. And the Broodlord's going to come here, sniper High Templar. Can we see the Vortex coming off right now? He does, and he snags everything. Can you get the Archons into the toilet, though? That's the important thing. He's going to move them in. He gets one, and he gets the second. He's going to move his entire army in there, and this could be it for Leenock right now. His entire army is in this Vortex. He has to get the splash damage off with the Archons, and he is. Everything is dying. Leenock GG's out of there. Beautiful play from Parting there. That Vortex just won him that game right there. Beautiful Vortex came off, got the Archons in there, got the splash damage off, got the storms off. Everything died before they could get their main damage in. And he was re-expanding down here. He still had buildings here. He was in a very nice position. Well played by him. He was behind in tech. Yes, his upgrades were ahead, but he basically was stuck on a huge Stalker army. But because of these counterattacks coming in here, sniping drones here and there, sniping the Queens, sniping the Hatcheries sometimes, He just kept Leenock coming back and forth, and he couldn't get a nice sizable army to go in and attack parting there. So well played by him to take the game. I hope you have enjoyed this cast. This is probably one of the longest ones I've done, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you like to see more than that, then subscribe to my channel, and there will be plenty more of action where this came from, and I will see you guys next time.